job that nobody's ever seen anything like it. It was a good idea we came up with, and we're doing a sealer and then some very intricate work with modern materials, and it's going to look better than it did in 1922 when it was built. It was built in 1922, and it had granite pavers. It was granite, various materials on top. The size is it's almost, I guess it's over 2,000 feet, 2,400 feet long. That's taller than any building in the world if you lay it on its side, and very big. The surface was bad. The leaking was bad. These workers are the most fantastic people. You know, Doug Burgum, he's in charge of it. He's the head of interior and done a great job. And I was getting complaints from people saying that it wasn't good. This is a number of months ago, and I called Doug, and he agreed. They spent a fortune. President Obama spent $38 million, closed it for 2.5 years. It was a construction nightmare, a construction mess. When they opened it, it didn't work, and it leaked. It was a disaster. And but I know how to build, and we worked with Doug and Interior and Parks, and these guys have been fantastic. So we're putting a beautiful surface on. It's called, the coloring it's like a swimming pool, but industrial strength, much stronger. And I think you're going to see something that's amazing. Very interesting is we took they took 12 garbage trucks full of garbage that was under the water that people didn't see, but they knew it was there. It was a real mess. And you're going to have basically industrial strength. It's going to last, I would say, 50 years. It's going to last a long time. And you'll have no leak, guaranteed no leak. And it's going to be something very special. And it's going to be a beautiful color. The color was never good because basically it had a gray stone underneath, whether it was the concrete or the granite. It was a gray stone. And now we actually picked the color. It's called American Flag Blue. And so you can't do better than that. And so we had estimates to fix it of about $355 million, and it was going to take 3.5 years. You can see by the size of it. And so we're going to be able to do it for about $1.8 million, and it's going to take 1 week. And we'll be finished, I guess. I'm going to give him a little more time. Let's give it 2 weeks, but a lot of the hard work is done. The beautiful work is now. The application is really the fun.
Yes, sir.
The sidewalk surfaces, they're fixing that too. They're having it repointed, refixed. It's going to be actually much better than new. It's much more beautiful than it was new because it never had the color people wanted, but now it's going to have the great color. So it's going to be good. It's going to last many, many years, and it's going to have no leaks, going to have no problems. It's going to be clean and beautiful. And I want to thank Doug Burgum, the job he's done, and we're working on some other jobs that are great. We're working on the back terrace of the Lincoln Memorial. That was supposed to be the main entrance, but they built 2 roadways behind it, so it never had access to the Potomac, and we're working on that. We have a beautiful plan for that, the Lincoln Memorial, and we have other things. Also, I guess you want to talk about what you're most proud of is underneath the Lincoln Memorial. Do you want to discuss that?
Well, underneath the Lincoln Memorial, it's built on essentially arches or stilts like a cathedral. So there's an undercroft 80 feet high that's only been filled with junk and graffiti from back when it was built in 1922. This summer, there's been a long vision, but with President Trump's leadership and support of donors, they're opening a undercroft museum, which will tell a great story, hold great documents coming as part of the 250th anniversary. So 15,000 of the 50,000, there's a 50,000-foot cavern underneath the Lincoln. 15,000 will be opening as a new museum on June 23rd of this year as part of Freedom 250. And again, we've never had a president like President Trump who's cared more, invested more, or put more time and attention into everything about the mall. When he drives around, if he sees something, he calls us. We call the amazing National Park Service. They're on it. They fix it up. That's why we're fixing over 19 fountains around the city. That's why we've eliminated over 1,000 graffiti sites. under President Trump's leadership, we've taken care of 82 homeless camps that were in the city when he was elected, making D.C. safe and beautiful. Crime is down, beauty is up, all because of President Trump's leadership.
So a very big thank you, Doug, and great job. Your people are fantastic. The whole Department of Interior, the parks, have just been amazing, and the police.
Yes.
The police have been incredible. You know, we have a very safe city now. We didn't have a safe city when I first took second term. It was a disaster what happened, and we now have a very safe city. People walk around, they love it. Frankly, doing this would be no good if we didn't have a safe city, but the crime, I think it's down about 88%, something like that, and Memphis too, and if you go down to New Orleans, we spent, I guess we're in the fifth month, and we have it down about 78%. It's going down to 90%. Memphis is way down. But D.C., I don't know, it's the capital, and we had a very, very terrible crime right here, and it's down now. We're going to have it down. I think we'll get it above 92% down. We took 5,000 career criminals, people that were really, really bad. They came through the open border. I'm sure you guys love open borders. I don't think so. But they came through on the open borders. They came out of prisons and mental institutions, and they came all over the place, and it is horrible what happened. That they allowed this to happen to our country. But we got them out, and we had 11,888 murderers allowed into our country. We got them out. We got many of them out. We're looking for quite a few, but we got many of them out. And the crime rate is, as you know, the murder rate in the country is down to the lowest it's ever. It's down to, in 1900, 125 years, lowest in recorded history. And that's good. So we're very happy about that. And that goes hand in hand with fixing things up. So as Doug said, I heard 19 or a lot of founders, about 19, maybe more than that. Lafayette Park is beautiful. I made that contribution. It's a pretty significant contribution. And Lafayette Park is being rebuilt. We have tremendous amounts of things going on around Lincoln. I think, to me, the most exciting of all is going to be the Triumphal Arch. We're going to build one of the most beautiful arcs in the world. If you look at Paris, in Paris, they have the Arc de Triomphe. It's their number one tourist attraction, even more so than the Eiffel Tower. And we're going to have one that's more grand, even more grand, because that's one of, I would say that's the best right now. There are 59 Triumphal Arcs throughout the world, and this will be number 60. And many of them are very old. Some are 600-700 years old. And they represented triumph, usually a victory, a military victory. But we are going to have one that's going to be, I think, superior to anybody else's. It's going to be a little bit larger and I think a lot more beautiful. So, and that's going to start, I would say, very soon. It was supposed to be built, you know, the circle by the bridge, by the river. It's going to be, I think it's going to be something that will be so special. It's been there like that. It used to be a dirt path. And it wasn't built because of the Civil War. Civil War got in the way. The Eagles are up. They were built later, but the Eagles are up. But it hasn't been built. And people, a lot of times, they'll be going over the river, the bridge, and they'll be saying, why isn't this built? And they've been saying that for way over 100 years. So you're going to have something built there. So we're really fixing up Washington, D.C. on a bigger front, even bigger front. Worldwide, our military is unbelievable. They're doing an unbelievable job. We're negotiating with the Iranians. We have, you probably heard, we took our 3 destroyers and we rammed them through some pretty big stuff today, and we knocked the hell out of them. The destroyers weren't hurt in any way. The people weren't hurt, but they were firing at us, and we were firing back at them. And our firepower was a hell of a lot stronger than theirs, and they knocked the hell out of them. They took down a lot of small boats. You know, we call them small boats or fast boats. They're both small and they're fast, with some weaponry on the front. You know, this is now replacing the Navy. They had a Navy, 159 boats. They have none. Okay, they're all at the bottom of the sea, so they replaced that with what they call the fast boat. It's a fast boat, big deal. It's fast. It's got a machine gunner in front. They've been knocked down. They knocked out quite a few of them today. Yesterday they knocked out 8. They average 8 a day. This is some group of people we're dealing with. So, it's very simple. Somebody said, what's your plan? I said, the plan is very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. It cannot have a nuclear bomb, and it's not going to have. And they're really at the end of the line. It really are at the end of the line. Now, unless you guys feel differently. Now, these guys, I think, will say that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Would you say? We wouldn't feel very good if they did, because this, what you're doing and all the work that you do and that we do, it wouldn't look too very good after a while with these characters. We're not going to give them the right to have a nuclear weapon. There's zero chance. And they know that, and they've agreed to that. Let's see if they are willing to sign it. So do you have any questions, Liz?
Sir, Mr. President, can you talk about your meeting with President Lula earlier? Was there anything agreed
Yeah, I
on?
will talk about it, but you have some of these construction workers that I love. I love because they all voted for me. I would say 100% or 99. I think
100%.
I think about 100.
Yes, sir.
Can we get those guys over here so they're not standing right behind? We're on. There they are. I'll show you over there. There's no way I'm leaving you out there, fellas. So who didn't vote for Trump? Anybody? Thank you. I think
We're from Oklahoma.
I would say
sir.
that's right.
We're from Oklahoma.
We love you guys.
Yes,
We
sir.
just said you agree Iran cannot have.
Yes, sir.
I love that guy. Did you know that? Are you from Oklahoma?
Yes, sir.
So Trump won Oklahoma 77 counties.
Yes, sir.
I won all 77, right?
did.
I won it in a landslide, like the election. But you know who second was? Ronald Reagan was at 56. I was at 77. And by the way, you have a very good basketball team.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And I may try and come to one of those games. I like your basketball team. These guys are fantastic. So they're doing the job. They're working hard. And does anybody think Iran should have a nuclear weapon so they can blow you up?
No.
It's a very important thing that we're doing, right?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
oil is coming down, and the stock market today just hit an all-time high. You know, I was reading about doom and gloom. We had to do what we did. We took a little U-turn. We just hit the highest number in the history of our country in the stock market. And I said to my people, we're going to have to take a little U-turn and go to the lovely country of Iran and blow them up a little bit, because they're not going to have a nuclear weapon, and they're not. We're not going to ruin you. These guys work so hard to make things beautiful. We're not going to let a nuclear weapon ruin it. So, thank you. Are you all from Oklahoma?
Yes, sir.
How did that work out? They wanted super quality, right? So
Yes, sir.
We bring quality. Oklahoma breeds quality.
we love it. He's doing a good job, Mark Wayne. You know, Mark Wayne could have been a senator for the rest of his life. Maybe could have been president. Who the hell knows? I don't recommend it. But he was your senator, and he wanted to do this. He wanted to work with him. And then Tom Homan, who I'm sure you never heard of. But he's done a job. So, Tom, how good a president is Trump?
Greatest president of my lifetime.
Yes, sir.
I got a
Young
question.
man.
I got a question. Are you all legal?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Make sure.
From Oklahoma, the answer is probably yes.
Indian. Yes, sir. Choctaw.
So are you here pretty much until this gets finished?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Are you with the company, with the contract?
I'm with those two men behind you. Yes,
That's
sir.
good. That's good. You got a good-looking crew back there, fellas, huh?
Yep.
Thank you so much.
I'm from Plain,
You are here
Oklahoma.
against the backdrop of war in Iran.
Yeah.
Why focus on all these projects right now?
You know why? Because I want to keep our country beautiful and safe. Beautiful also. This place was a disgusting place. It was Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, and we had a terrible disgust. I don't know. You probably don't see dirt, but I do. And you walk down this pond. If you would have walked down, they'll tell you better than anybody. They had to take 11 or 12 truckloads of garbage out of that lake, out of that water, and it sat there for years like that. And that's not what our country is about. Our country is about beauty, cleanliness, safety, great people, not a filthy capital.
This is
It's such a stupid question you ask. We're fixing up the reflecting pond to the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, and you say, why are you fixing it up? Because you can understand dirt maybe better than I can, but I don't allow it. This is one of the worst reporters. She's with ABC Fake News, and she's a horror show. She's saying, why would you bother fixing this up? Why would I bother taking 11 or 12 truckloads of filth out of the water in front of the Lincoln Monument? That's what made our country great. Beauty made our country, people made our country great. A question like that is a disgrace to our country. Any other questions?
Mr. President, I'm also with ABC News.
Fake news.
The virus. Have you been briefed on the virus?
Yes, I have.
Can you tell us what you've learned in these briefings?
Well, I think you're going to be told everything, and you already have. It's very much, we hope, under control. It was the ship, and I think we're going to make a full report about it tomorrow. We have a lot of people, a lot of great people are studying it. It should be fine. We hope.
Should Americans be concerned that it's going to spread? And how are you
I hope not. I mean, I hope not. We'll do the best we can, yeah.
get the Americans that are on
Go ahead.
Mr. President, detail your meeting with President Lula today. Was there anything agreed on between the
No, we
two
had a
of you?
great meeting with the President Hill. We're doing a lot of trading, and we're going to do some increased trading. We talked about tariffs. We talked about, they would like to have some tariff relief. But we had a very good meeting. He's a good man. He's a smart guy.
Mr. President, after these strikes, is the ceasefire with Iran still on?
Yeah, it is. It's trifles. We blew them away. They trifled. I call that a trifle. I'll let you know when there's no ceasefire. You won't have to know. If there's no ceasefire, you're not going to have to know. You're just going to have to look at one big glow coming out of Iran. And they better sign their agreement fast.
Yes, could you give us an update on what is the latest in those talks?
No, it's
Said
going. The
yesterday.
talks are going very well, but they have to understand if it doesn't get signed, they're going to have a lot of pain. They're going to have a lot of pain. They want to sign it. I will tell you, they want to sign it a lot more than I do. I think that's what you want to hear, fellas, right? What you want to hear, a different tone. That's the only thing they understand. They don't understand it. We had 3 world-class destroyers go through the strait today. Any other country, under the circumstances, wouldn't have shot missiles at it and drones at it and these stupid boats that came at it. They got blown away in about 2 minutes. Their tanker got blown. You know what we did with the tanker? We didn't want to create an environment, so we shot out the rudder, and the tanker's going around, spinning around in circles. They should not have done that today. We thought they might. We didn't know, but we were prepared. They shot missiles. Every missile was knocked down. Every drone was knocked down. And the people that shot it are no longer with us.
Mr. President, has Iran officially responded to the one-page offer?
Well, it's more than a one-page offer. It's an offer that's basically said they will not have nuclear weapons. They're going to hand us the nuclear dust and many other things that we want.
For that so far, Mr.
Yeah, they agree. But
President?
when they agree, it doesn't mean much because the next day they forgot they agreed. And, we're dealing with different sets of leaders. When you talk about regime change, they keep talking about regime change. Well, we got rid of the first regime. We got rid of the second regime. We got rid of most of the third regime. And then they say, oh, is that regime change? I think it's the ultimate regime change.
How close would you say that you are to a deal right now with Iran?
Could happen any day. Could, and it might not happen, but it could happen any day. I believe they want the deal more than I do.
Are you aware of the FBI raid on Virginia State Senator Louise Lucas's house yesterday? Virginia State Senator Louise Lucas, she's a Democrat.
I'm not aware of it.
Yesterday, not aware of it.
No.
Mr. President, is your trip with China still going ahead?
Yeah,
Which companies you
I
have
have a very good relationship with President Xi. We've had a great economic time. China's been great for us economically, but not for other presidents. But we've done very well with China. We're going to have a meeting with President Xi. It's going to be, I think, quite amazing. He's been a friend of mine. I've gotten along with him very well over the years. We have had no problem, and we've had no problem with China and Iran. Everybody said, oh, China. We've had no problem with China and Iran.
Mr. President, have you spoken to Secretary Rubio since his meeting with Pope to Leo and did you ask
No,
him to pass on a message?
I spoke to him. I just said, tell the Pope very nicely, very respectfully, that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. So when he comes to their defense, also tell the Pope that Iran killed 42,000 innocent protesters who didn't have guns, who didn't have weapons. Tell that to the Pope.
Mr. President, there's a Christian pastor in China that's been imprisoned since October. I know that members of your administration have pushed to highlight the protection of Christians.
What's his name?
His name's Ezra Jin. Are you going to press President Xi
Well,
on his
I've
release?
heard about it. I will certainly look into it. Yeah. I'll look at it. I'll bring it up. Yeah.
Court of International Trade.
I've
just
gotten a
before
lot of
you came
people
over.
out. I've gotten a lot of people out of different countries, including China. People that were hostages or held. So we'll take a look at that, including Pastor Brunson, as you know, from in that case it was Turkey. So we've done a lot of that. I do a lot, and I don't pay $6 billion to get somebody out like Biden used to do and Obama. They give $6 billion to get some person out.
What's your reaction, sir, to the Court of International Trade's ruling against your 10% across the board tariffs?
Well, we were surprised. We had one very positive vote. We had two radical left judges that voted against it. So nothing surprises me with the courts. Nothing surprises me. So we always do it a different way. We get one ruling and we do it a different way. We're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars from tariffs, and we're taking it away from countries, frankly, that have ripped us off for years, and now they're not ripping us off anymore.
Mr. President, why was that suspended? Administration officials talking about
Because
this in the next phase of the war.
really wonderful leadership at place. As you know, Pakistan has been fantastic, and their leaders have been fantastic. The field marshal and the prime minister, and they asked us not to do it. We'll go back to it if we have to. They asked us not to do it during the negotiation.
Are you considering maybe going back to that now that gas prices are well?
It could, well, no, gas prices have come down today. Have you looked? They've come down very substantially today. The gas prices, you know what's happened today? Gas prices are way down and the stock market is way up today. So gas prices have come down, and I saw today that they broke negatively. In other words, to our positive position, they broke our way very substantially. And when the war is over, gas will fall down at levels that you've never seen before. You'll be down to where you were, maybe even lower. We had it down to, I was in Iowa, and we were at 85, or about 85. What did you say? Yeah, we broke it. Yeah, we broke it. We broke it. We had numbers that nobody's seen in a long time. So you had $2 a gallon. We were down, I think, to $1.85, $1.90 in Iowa and a lot of other places. Outside of California, where California charges such a high tax on the gasoline, when you take that tax off, but California has a tremendous, I don't know if anybody knows, California was the third largest area for oil, and you were telling me, and Chris was telling me before, we're talking about California oil. California is like an oil, it's rich with oil. But stupidly, 15, 16, 17 years ago, people stopped drilling. It was third to Texas and another state, probably Oklahoma. But when this is over, I think you're going to see oil prices drop down to the levels where they were and maybe lower. There's a lot of oil out there. And the stock market hit a new high. Nobody thought that was possible. Stock market today, for the 59th time since I'm president, hit a new high. And people that have 401ks, you guys have 401ks? You got to like me. Does everybody have a 401k? Because you got to like Trump if you do. Your 401ks, right? Your 401ks are through the roof. All right, one or two more. I want to look at the surface because I like the surface better than I like.
You endorse either John Cornyn or Ken Paxton?
I'll make a decision. Yeah, I'll make a decision.
When will you make your decision?
Maybe relatively soon.
Would you consider
I like them
on
both.
oil export?
I like them both.
So
Yeah.
would you consider export curbs on oil or jet fuel if supplies get tight?
I don't need them. We don't need them. And we have tremendous amounts of oil. We are not suffering oil. And again, ships are coming all the way where they used to go to Hormuz. They're coming all the way up. And we have hundreds of ships coming up to Texas, coming up to Louisiana, and coming to Alaska, filling up, and they're going back and making a lot of money.
Mr. President, with another project, you have repeatedly said that taxpayers would not pay for the ballroom at the White House. Why should taxpayers now be on the hook for $1 billion?
Well, they're not, because that's for many other projects. That's for projects having to do with safety in a certain section of the White House grounds. That's not all for the ballroom. And we're putting up $400 million to do the ballroom section of the ballroom. We are putting that up privately. I am doing it along with other patriots that love our country. But they want to do certain things militarily with respect to the ballroom, having nothing to do with us or having to do with the safety of the president. So having to do with a lot of things, but we are going to have a safe ballroom. It's under construction. It's ahead of schedule. It's right on budget. It would be $300 to $400 million that we're putting up. And a lot of that money will be going to safety also. But the House approved, or the Senate approved, I guess, or they're looking at approving. I don't know if it got approved yet, but they're talking about putting up a certain amount of money having to do with security at the White House and the East Wing. Yeah.
Will you commit to publicly releasing the amount of money that the private donors have?
Well, I have
given to
no
the ballroom?
problem with it. You're not supposed to, because it's done under a way where you don't have to do that. But I have no problem. They're unbelievable people. These are great patriots. They're putting up, it's the only place in the world you can give a $400 million ballroom. You put up the money and they're unhappy with it. They think the taxpayers should pay for it. So this will be the most beautiful ballroom anywhere in the world, and it'll be the safest ballroom by far anywhere in the world. And you won't have a fiasco like you did Saturday night 2 weeks ago.
Are you expecting to have this already set by July 4th?
By July 4th, yeah, we think we're going to have it. Yeah, we do think we're going to have it. Thank you very much for the question.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you
press.
very
Thank
much,
you,
Your
press.
Honor.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. This way. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
Follow me, please.
Thank you.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.